Hey guys, KV here bringing you everything you'll need to know about playing Harrier effectively. One of the main components of Lawbreakers that makes it unique is its wide open low grav areas. These areas are dominated by long-range hit-scan classes, such as the Gunslinger and Enforcer, and although Harrier uses a hit-scan weapon as well, it's not as effective at long ranges. Harrier can still be a powerful force as long as you position well and take fights that you have an advantage in. We're going to start off by analyzing her kit. Harrier's Shock Croc, with its 2 fire modes, allows you to be effective at multiple ranges. It has good damage output at mid-range with your primary fire, and also has the ability to headshot. Due to the fact there's no spread on the weapon, proficient aimers will absolutely dominate with this class. This does 18 damage per tick at close range and 6 at long. Headshots are 50% more at 27 per tick at close range and 9 at long. The damage falloff for Harrier is massive, which means you want most of your fights to occur in the close to mid-range. Harrier's alt fire is a fast-moving projectile that deals 50 damage on impact, and increases the damage done to the target by both you and your teammates. This will also mark them with a white coating that makes them easier to notice. There's a small amount of splash on the impact, which means if enemies are grouped up closely, there's a chance you can mark and damage both of them. This mark increases Harrier's primary fire damage by 33%. Upping it from 18 to 24 per tick. This buff seems to change a little, as we can see Enforcer's damage go from 25 to 34, which is an increase of about 35%. Using these two together is essential if you want to output significant amounts of damage. Moving on to Harrier's deployable. Like with Assassin's Flux Grenade, you can use Harrier's health pack for a myriad of different reasons. Once thrown down, it will spawn a special health pack every couple seconds, up to a maximum of 4 packs. These both restore 100 health over time, and all of your character's fuel or movement charges, making them even more effective for assassins and gunslingers, due to the slow recharge rate on their movement abilities. Harrier's health pack allows her to be self-sufficient, letting your medic focus their heals on the rest of the team. The amount of ways you can use the health pack is endless. A couple include saving yourself by throwing it at a wall as you're falling to your death, or giving it to your Juggernaut who's controlling the point so he can use his ultimate even more. Something Harrier possesses that other classes do not is an empowered kick. When kicking, Harrier uses both a regular kick, as well as a laser pulse from her Raycasters. On top of the 75 damage from the kick, the pulse adds an additional 60 damage, giving her a whopping 135 damage per kick. The pulse has slightly longer range than the actual kick, which means even if you miss, you still might get the pulse damage off. Her Raycasters can also damage opponents as you move around the map. Using your Raycasters while moving backwards will shoot lasers out of the boots in the direction of your crosshair. However, this does just as much damage as your Shock Croc, and I found it ineffective as a damage option. Now comes arguably one of the more nuanced parts of Harrier, her ultimate. It's a massive laser beam with unlimited range and no damage falloff that deals a ton of damage. So just press your ultimate button and look at people. The difficult part of it comes from positioning and moving with the ult. Now normally in Lawbreakers, if you press forward, you will move in the direction you're looking. This is not the case with Harrier's ult. As soon as you use her ultimate, left and right movements will still strafe left and right of wherever you're looking. However, what was your forwards and backwards movement now becomes up and down movement based on where you're looking. This makes it nearly impossible to chase anyone and just difficult to move in general. Therefore, positioning with your ult is the key to success. Either flying up high and low grav and dominating the area, or getting a perfect flank off are your go-to options. One of my favorite parts about Harrier is the way her movement just seems to flow. It's a bit tricky at first, but once you get the hang of it, it feels like you're skating around the map. Harrier has a double jump, which makes bunny hops easier. However, I didn't really feel the need to bunny hop as much as I do with the other characters. Because you can constantly use your health pack to refuel, I found that just using the Raycasters to propel myself felt better. I'd suggest flying around in a custom game to get the hang of the movement before you hop in a match. Now, unlike every other character in Lawbreakers, do not use her blind fire. It gives little to no impulse and is just a waste of ammo. Now sadly, the place where Harrier lacks the most is in effective combat movement. She doesn't have quick strafing movements and she lacks an instant boost in any direction, so make sure you pick your fights wisely. In terms of different playstyles, I feel like Harrier's is the most malleable. She doesn't have a great kit for fighting in the normal grav due to her lack of combat movement, and she doesn't really have the range to duel Enforcers and Gunslingers in the low grav areas. But one place where she excels more than anyone else is quickly flanking in low grav. Harrier has both quick map traversal and the perfect weapon for this type of playstyle. Flanking around the corners of the map and backstabbing enemies that are fighting in low grav is where you're going to be the most effective. Always lead off with your alt fire first, and then finish off the marked enemy with your team. This playstyle will also complement your ult, allowing you to get multi-kills easily. Now, another possibility and where we thought Harrier would be played initially is in the secondary hit scan role. But because of the fact she has less range and damage than both the Enforcer and Gunslinger, you would be relegated to just hitting alt fires and allowing your Gunslinger to finish them off. In terms of the best playstyle, a combination of the two would be the most effective, a pseudo-flanker role. Initially fighting in low grav to help your team get a pick with your alt fire, and then flying around the map to flank with an ult. So hopefully, this gave you guys some insight on how to play Harrier properly. If you enjoyed this, there's buttons below to express that. Also, if you'd like to see more Lawbreakers content, let me know in the comments. This has been KV, GG.